Hey y'all, this is Colin with a Life of Logos, and I got something that's been on my mind for forever. And I've been avoiding it because it's not, well, I suppose I don't like doing controversial things. I really want to talk about edifying things. I want to talk about dreams. I want to talk about hopes. I want to talk about the world that we're creating. I want to talk about God and philosophy and religion and how those things tie together, and my business and how the business is working so incredibly well, and how God has shown up over and over. He's been real good to me. And I want to discuss this one thing. And there's something I've been avoiding, but I see it on the interwebs, I see it on YouTube, I see it on Instagram, I see it everywhere all the time. And it's the current status of our country, America. And the thing of it is, I love this country. I was born here. I grew up here. My family's from here. This country has given me so much, and I've joined the military, I've served, and some of my best friends are still serving. And I'm not going to say a thing to degrade America. But some of the things that have been happening in our country, particularly over the last few years, have been nothing to the quality that America is or deserves. Now, there has been great moments. There's been absolutely awesome moments. And there's been some really terrible moments. And I would hate to say for even a moment that there haven't been beautiful things that this country has done, even in light of the corruption and oppression that has occurred. And I will not be the one that stands by with his hands in his pockets and his mouth shut, watching some of these things simply because I don't want to ruffle the wrong feathers, or I think that it may impact my future at some point. At some point, a person has to realize that they too have a voice. And if they choose silence, then they permit the evil to continue. If they choose to not say anything, then they are nothing but complicit in the downward spiral of the world that they live in. And I am here today to say some of these things so I can plant my flag in the sand and clear my conscience, knowing that I am not the one who didn't say anything. I do not like what our current administration is doing. I don't like it. I don't like it from the executive branch. I don't think the judicial branch has done their due diligence and doing checks and balances. And the House has gone along with anything that is being said by the executive branch. We have come to a position of unilateral power, and the system of checks and balances is failing. It is. Those who are rich and powerful continue to grow in their power and their wealth, while the majority of people in this society are left with little to nothing. There are things that have happened racially, things that have happened economically, politically, which is really nothing shy of abuse. And I won't stand for that. And I don't want it to go and look back a year from now and say, you know what, I didn't say anything. I had a platform. I had a voice. And I did nothing. I don't stand for it. Now, to peek behind the veil, and this is usually something that I wouldn't say, is ideologically, I tend to actually lean more conservatively when it comes to economics and I would say even civics. I believe personally, and this is when I say lean to the right, because there are two ends of the right, right? There's the authoritarian end, which we are in right now, which I fully detest. I censored myself. And there is the freedom end of the right, which I am deeply entrenched in. I don't believe in big government. I don't believe in overtaxation. I do not believe that the government should move masses a certain way or get involved in people's lives. I think we should all have the freedom to do that which we know we need to do best. And I don't see a world where any suit in Washington is going to be able to make the best plan for my life, or that even anybody at any of these levels will be able to make a plan for my life that's better than mine. I don't see it. I don't see it. If anything, I'm a libertarian, with now a lean to the left, because your boy Donnie will change a person. I am not an authoritarian by any means. I think the government's too big. I think the government was set up originally to provide for the common defense. And this is the thing that so many people don't know. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and ensure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain to establish this Constitution of the United States of America. The Preamble. Know it off the top. If I messed up, then I messed up. But by and large, I know it off the top of the dome. Because I believe that. Government is not supposed to rule people. It's not supposed to be this involved in our lives. It's not supposed to be this involved in our thinking. It's not supposed to be repositioning people or throwing them out simply because they don't like them, or assassinating people because they don't like what they said, or living for the current status of billionaires while the majority of people go hungry. This is not how it's supposed to be. We should have term limits on congressmen and senators. We should not allow lobbying, and Citizens United was a mistake. We should have an age limit for people both in the Congress and in the executive branch, because if the majority of them are in their 70s, they will not live to see the impact of the decisions that they are making today. We must have an America which our posterity is on the forefront of our minds, so we can make a better country, not only for ourselves, but for our children and for our children's children. That is what I will stake my flag on. It's not about me. And that shouldn't clash with anything that I've said in any video online ever. It never was about me. It was about the community that I was trying to build, the people that I have come to love, who I want to create a better world for. I know who I am. I'm the person who sets the others free. And I've known that from a very, very young age, but I couldn't articulate what I was setting them free from. But in the year of our Lord 2026, I can see it. And the battle is not fought only in the voting booth. It's fought between your mind and your attention every single day. The government, truthfully, I should say this properly, I think the government is the pawn, not the perpetrator. And I think there are institutions and people who are pushing them around, and they'll do whatever that powerful class will do or say. And I think they are acting out behaviors of people who do not have the best interest of the polis at heart. I think Congress is absolutely complicit. I think the Department of Justice is also complicit, as well as the media and every single person who is going to throw up their hands and say it's not worth it. It is worth it. You are worth it. Our children are worth it. And here's the thing. Everyone who's going to see this video is going to drop the same message on YouTube. What have you done about it? What are you going to do about it? And before you start throwing stones, I would argue that what are we going to do about it? And what are we going to do about it? Don't make a comment unless you've done something. And if you have done something, please comment because I want to know. 1. 2, this is not the time to do anything. In our country, we have a certain unspoken but clearly articulated agreement where we the people exist in relationship to a government that is supposed to do those things that have been established in that preamble and have been executed and spelled out in that Constitution. With that being said, we as the citizens, we as the people, have the right and the opportunity to make our voices heard. And not only do we have the rights and the opportunities to do so, we must. And it is more important today than ever before that we choose to go and to do. Go speak to your congressmen. Write them letters. Go sit in on your city's boards. If there's a place where you can be heard and be heard en masse. Go. And when the day comes in November, there should not be ne'er one citizen who complains about the way things are, who does not have the audacity to go out and exercise your right to vote. If you're going to complain, you better do something about it. And if you're not going to do something about it, stop complaining. You are just as complicit as anybody. Furthermore, until we have exhausted all of our options, until we have talked to our congressmen, until we have met with the people in our cities, until we have organized in protests, until we have voted, any action of extreme measure will not work for us. Just because they're cheating doesn't mean you get to cheat as well. We have the moral high ground. We need to keep it. And it's hard to say that because you can't exactly express that the mass has the moral high ground. But the fact of the matter is, we have a system for this. We do. And though many of the American citizens don't understand what is available to them through their voting, through their congressmen, through their cities, through the way that they do their business, we have to know and exercise the plan that was written first. And if it still doesn't change from them, gloves off. Because if we try everything in the system and we still are not happy, then that means that we no longer have a voice in the system. And when you do no longer have a voice in your system, it is your obligation to make your voice heard. Because this is a democracy, damn it. And if it's a democracy, you have a voice. If we have gotten past the point where we are democratic, then we as Americans need to do what needs to be done. I will never encourage or incite violence. Not here, not on this channel. I will tell you this much. Do your due diligence. Go vote. I'll be voting. Yes. I'm going to be writing letters too. I'm going to be speaking to anyone who will listen because there are peaceful methods to do before inciting violence or burning something down. Know your rights. Know your civics. This is your country. This is my country. This is our country. And we have a right and an obligation to make our voices heard. Now, if you're going to use your voice to simply complain without the desire or the gumption to take any action, save us all the wind and the annoyance and shut up. If you're going to be complicit, be complicit. I am going to go do something about my country. I'm calling Charles. You got a problem with that? Come find me.